I've got a couple of mates who have returned from overseas, and losing out on that structure is one of the big things that I think a lot of people in the Defence Force really struggle with. You know, you go into I know you started as a rifleman, just what, straight out of school sort of thing. Is
Yeah,
that
2 days after. Yeah, 2 days after graduating, I was at Kapuka, which is basic training. Still
Wow.
bloody hungover from grad.
So basically, you went from and to my point, you went from, you know, school, the bell goes, period this, period that, and you go home to, you know, Kapuka, and you know you're up at this time, you're in bed at this time, breakfast is this. What does that do when you come out, and you come back from a deployment, and you just sort of on your own, you're in your own free will, you can do whatever you like?
Well, that was the weirdest thing, man, is it's like boredom in many ways. You're like, oh, I'm used to working 24/7 and having something on the go, to what do you mean I can just get in my car and go to Coles?
Yeah.
Like, you know, my base, well, where I wasn't even considered a base. It was too small. It was a camp. It was, you know, tens of meters one way and just over 100 meters the other way. So it was tiny. And of course, you can't just walk out the base into Kabul in Afghanistan and go get groceries.
Yeah.
It was that sense of freedom again, of like, oh, Jesus, you know, in 24 hours previously, I was here doing this and I wouldn't look over the fence without my helmet and body armor on. And now I'm just at home sitting here, hanging out, going to the shops, getting ice cream. And that's the big change. And I guess another big change for me in the beginning too was not being armed. And I guess cops must get the same thing. In Afghanistan, you know, the insider threat on bases is very high. And you have a pistol on you the whole time, or your rifle. It doesn't matter if you're doing deadlifts at the gym to you're in your bed and your rifle and pistol is, you know, in bed with you or on your bedside table-ish thing, whatever you've got. And well, if you've got your pack lying there, you might have your stuff on top of it.
Yeah.
You are armed the whole time.
Really?
And I remember, yeah. Oh, whether you're in the base, at the gym, anything, you've got a gun on you.
So how does one? Because I know when I'm at the gym, and if I'm doing deadlifts or, you know, rack pulls or something, I like to take my phone out of my pocket. I don't like anything in the way. How do you go with a pistol on you as your sidearm there while you're doing deadlifts? How does that affect the lift?
Yeah, so normally I'd have, well, you might be able to use it as a lifting belt. Nah, but normally we would take the holster and pistol, because the holster protects the pistol from really being accidentally fired. I guess it covers the trigger and everything. So a lot of the time we'd walk up there just with our holster and pistol. And, you know, where you put your phone on the ground before doing bench press, you put your pistol with it. And as you walk to the next exercise, you grab your phone and your pistol and walk over and do this. But you to be within arm's reach of a weapon the whole time. And there's no exception to that, of a loaded weapon ready to rock and roll. And I guess that's a bit of a learning curve coming back. You're like, you know, you go to a club and you might feel, well, you're not in crowded areas like that over there.
Yeah.
And you might feel a little bit just on edge. And being a right-hander, my pistol sat on my right hip. You'd always feel the holster and the pistol on sort of your right forearm when you just have your arms by your side, and not feeling that was a bit of, oh shit, I'm pretty fucking vulnerable here without that.
Right.
Because, you know, I'm a little dude. I'm not very big, and, you know, I wouldn't trust myself that bad, that much hand to hand. And it's one of those weird transitions that you're there and your first line of anything is to unholster that pistol. And you come back and that's not with you anymore. You're like, oh, I feel a bit fucking naked.
Almost like a bit where you pat your pockets where you can't find your phone and you freak out for a couple of seconds to find out where it is. Yeah.
You see that happen too. Guys leave their pistol in their room and they're at the mess, like, oh fuck, running back to find it or something. But, that happens. But that's just part of the gig.